amazing Kate Casey.
Hi, welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey, and I've got a great episode for you. Now, if you listened to yesterday's episode, I had Kara Klenk with me, and we talked about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There are a lot of layers to it. This season is becoming really interesting because we're getting much more of each cast member's backstory. And then some of the seasoned cast members, like Lisa Barlow, seem to be going through a season in their life. And that's interesting to follow as well. So make sure you listen to that episode, because today's episode, I've got B from Bravo and Cocktails. Now, you probably scroll through Instagram and come across their posts. She's got a lot of blind items, but a lot of news about what's coming down the pipeline for Bravo. So if you like kind of investigative stuff, right up your alley. She's also got a podcast, Bravo and Cocktails, and I'm on this week's episode as well, so you can go and listen to that. In this episode, we deep dive a couple different Bravo shows, but we also talk about this week's episode of Wife Swap, which is a limited series. Angie from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City went to live with a family in Idaho who live off the grid, which is hilarious because we're talking about somebody who wears gigantic sunglasses just to go to the grocery store. She goes to this house in Idaho and they do not have running water. They have essentially a bathtub that sits out at the bottom of the property. So as you can imagine, it's pretty hilarious. And it turned out to be pretty heartwarming. So if you have not watched that episode, I highly recommend it. It's just a fun watch. You can actually watch it with your kids too. And then, of course, like I said, go back and listen to that episode with Kara. I hope that you listened to my Wednesday episode with Marisol Patton from Real Housewives of Miami. I'm getting a lot of people writing me DMs about how thrilled they were to hear more about her personal story. By the way, she lived down the street from Madonna. Like, that's an episode you've got to listen to. And then I had an episode earlier this week about Hollywood Hustler, which is a Ponzi scheme that went on in Hollywood. And if you are unfamiliar with that story, please go and listen to that as well. My Saturday series episode this week, I just finished the interview yesterday, and it is a blow your hair back kind of story. Unbelievable story I don't want you to miss out on. Which brings me to a series I need you to watch because I've got an upcoming episode. Now, my friend Rachel Cohen texted me this week and she said, I know it's scripted, but I have something I really need you to watch. And so I started watching it and I was 3 episodes in before she texted me back and said, what do you think? I said, I've already booked the author. So this is a limited series. I think it's number 5 on Netflix right now. It is called No One Saw Us Leave. Now, originally filmed in, I think that obviously it's Spanish, a Spanish series, but it's dubbed in English. So it's beautifully shot. You can immediately tell like this is set in 1960s. You're not going to miss a beat though. It is a wild story. It's totally a gripping thriller if you're into those kind of series, but it's emotional as much as it is dramatic. So again, it's set in the 1960s. It's among a tight-knit Jewish Mexican community in Mexico City. And Mexico City, by the way, I'm fascinated by most beautiful architecture. Anyway, this series introduces us to Valeria Goldberg. She's a woman essentially in a gilded cage. She's trapped in this arranged marriage with Leo Saltzman, and he's the heir to this powerful family. So when Valeria's marriage begins to crumble, she makes this one life-altering mistake. And the consequences are devastating because Leo takes their children, Tamara and Isaac, on what he says is a family trip. But in fact, it becomes a global disappearance. He kidnaps them. And then suddenly she's left behind. She's frantic, powerless, but also determined. And over the course of 5 episodes, we follow her as she teams up with this ex-Mossad agent turned private investigator and begins this desperate cross-continental search for her children while fighting not just her husband, but his family, who are crazy, the community, and the weight of this societal shame. I got sucked in right away. And like I said, I reached out to the author. The author is one of the children that were kidnapped, and she wrote a book on her experience, which was made into this series. You are going to get pulled into this right away. This is an absolute must-watch if you are someone who loves like great literature. It hits so many different notes. It's your homework this weekend, and then you can look forward to my interview early next week with the author. The series is called No One Saw Us Leave. Oh my gosh, this is such great storytelling. And again, based on a true story. So yours truly is, I've got your back. I'm going to get all of the details. So you're going to be able to watch this whole series and then enjoy even more information with the author. So great episode. I hope that you share it with the people in your life. I hope you also check out my bonus episodes. And why do I need you to do that? Because I went down a rabbit hole about Garth Brooks. And I need you to go over to the bonus podcast and check it out. We have a lot to talk about, you guys. So you can get the bonus podcast on Apple Podcasts, but also on Patreon, patreon.com/KKC. Here's my interview with B from Bravo and Cocktails. B, sometimes I think I am definitely 1 to 2 degrees of separation from people. And you and I are just riffing before we even start recording. And it turns out that I know the older brother of the guy your cousin married.
Yes.
In Westchester.
From Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Did you watch Real Housewives of Potomac this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I can't focus because I'm just staring at Wendy.
I know. It's like a true crime. We're looking through every piece of footage to see what kind of jewelry she has on. And is she wearing the rings? Were you looking with her fingers to see the ring?
Well, I told you this before we got on, but it's worth repeating. I record on Thursdays. The day before we had seen the first episode of Potomac, the day before it was announced. And I decided to go on like a 15-minute diatribe about how I understand that Wendy can be snobby, but I love her and Eddie as a family and as a couple. And It's so wonderful to see them evolve and start businesses and watch their success. When I got the picture sent to my DMs, because you know people love to send me stuff, it wasn't, TMZ hadn't posted it. They posted it within a few minutes, but it must have just hit the database because a lot of my people are like working courthouses. That's how I get a lot of the stuff.
So good.
And first of all, I didn't believe it. Second of all, did their mugshots not look AI? Like who would look like that in a mugshot? They looked crazy. I was like, this is too much. These A accounts are really going too far. Literally what I said to myself. And then when TMZ posts it, because I trust TMZ, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, good grief. That pod of mine didn't freaking age 12 hours.
So let's walk through this again. You open your DMs. Someone, a good person who works at the courthouse, gives you the sneak tip.
Gives me the information from the portal.
Love it.
Which was later obviously public. And it was public because these things are public. Like, I don't know if you remember when Kim Zolciak's house first went into bankruptcy. That's how I found out.
I think I remember.
The courthouse sent it to me. And she was denying it, but cocktailers, that's what I call my people who listen and follow and chat with me. I'm like, no, like this is a public system. Like this is
they're
going
onto your
to
game.
come out. Like I don't even have to say allegedly, guys. I'm telling you. And obviously it all came out.
By the way, what do you think of this relationship she was with now?
Wait, this is the best. So in June, I get a DM. B, I'm on a flight to the Bahamas and Kim Zolciak is on the flight with a guy who looks just like Croy.
I mean,
she just called him Kyle, right? Now, I forget I posted this because we just had this conversation. You have a fantastic memory. I do not. Thank God I have a website where everything's documented and tagged so I can just look up Kim and be like, oh my God, I did. So a cocktailer's like, B, remember so when she was just named in this divorce and subpoenaed by the wife?
Yeah.
The woman who was on the flight with her, not only was she on the flight with her, she stayed at the VIP section of Baha Mar. You'll remember it if you watch Southern Charm.
Beautiful.
I've been to Baha Mar a couple times. I love it there. I never stayed in that section, unfortunately, maybe one day. So I see the divorce thing. I get the message. Remember, I told you I was on the flight and at Baha Mar with them. So I go back to my thing. I type in Kim. Up pops all my posts. There it is. Her calling this guy Kyle. So she's been with this guy since at least June. And obviously, if they're going on vacation, they're obviously dating a couple months before that, at least.
You're right.
Rumor has it he's paying for whatever new townhouse she's living in.
Kim can get all of these men to pay all of her bills, to pay for all of the things she wants, like accessories, clothing, probably for kids' activities.
Gambling.
Like,
gambling.
What is she doing to pull this off?
You know, were you a fan of early seasons Atlanta?
Of course.
I mean, she's very charismatic. She's got an it factor. I don't know how that translates.
I know a lot of people that have the it
their wife
factor.
and paying for you.
I know a lot of people that it factor, but they don't get all their bills paid. Like I just
They don't
see
try.
her sitting in a swivel chair in her house, smoking a long cigarette, and then like yelling at an assistant to look up like clothes for her. She has zero motivation in life other than to find someone to make everything happen for her. And do we think that Kroy is looking through the rear view now going, man, I got bamboozled? Or do we think he's also diabolical? Because he did seem to be way too codependent, like have to drive her everywhere. Was that because she made him do that? I mean, I don't know. Like attracts like?
I know. Listen, watching those videos, remember there was that period of time where the cops were constantly at their house?
Yeah.
He seemed like he had lost it. I think that there was like speculation, could it be football traumatic brain injury, which is like a real thing for a lot of these pro football players. What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, he seemed very on board with her. They had not one, not two, not three, but 4 children together.
Good point. Yep.
So, you know, I say this on my pod almost every single week. I think it started when Jen Shah and the husband, whatever his name, I don't even remember his name because I like can't stand her. Even though he seemed like a really great guy, I don't believe spouses can be that different from each other. What I mean is, of course, your personality can be different. My husband's personality is nothing like mine. But at the end of the day, he has to agree with my morals and like my foundational qualities, who I am.
Your value system.
Yes. And so whatever Kim is, he was okay with it for a decade plus, right?
Truly. Yep, you're right.
You can't fool somebody I don't believe that you can fool somebody for that long. I don't believe that you can be in a marriage where you're raising 6 children together and they don't know exactly who the hell you are, for better or worse.
Well, now my favorite thing to do is to hear Ariana let a little bit of the cat out of the bag about what it was really like to grow up in that house. She probably is one of my favorites now because she's a young woman who's bold enough to say, I think what has happened to me is utter and complete bullshit.
Can I ask you a question? And we've seen it on Housewives before. I mean, we can name many. How does a mom like Kim raise such a smart, capable woman like Ariana?
Well, it's happened because my therapist asked me one time, how is it possible that you're not a crackhead? So we do know. I think if you get the opportunity to leave your house and go and you're exposed to other people, that helps enormously. She must have had people around that family that she could look to as some sort of strength.
Well, we know her grandparents were in and out, and they didn't really seem to be the most.
But they just they got together. Did you see the picture?
Yes. Well, because, you know, what Kim does is she'll just put it was all Kroy. You know, it was obviously all Kroy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And like the vast majority of parents just want to have a relationship with their child, right?
Or
whatever
grandkids. Yep.
Yes. Right. It just always amazes me, though, how such a wackadoodle can raise I mean, Ariana is very bright, but you could be bright and like use your intelligence for evil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I do feel bad about her breakup with Hudson. And a lot of my followers are like, oh, it's a storyline. It's not a storyline. He flew in town for her birthday. So obviously it's amicable. He flew back out of town the day after. He is not living in New York City. So I think they really broke up. I think that there's a strong possibility they'll get back together. And I know they're young and I shouldn't feel bad because at that age you should date.
No, I would say to her, if I were her older sister friend, I'd say, I'm glad that you broke up because you got to be a ton of different people right now to kind of figure out who you want to be with.
But the only reason I feel bad is it's almost too bad it's a romantic relationship because she doesn't have stability. Yeah. Because Kroy was a good stepfather and he adopted them, but I really think he's crazy too.
Right. He has to be.
Yeah. And he's pulling the whole victim thing. And it's like, you know, I'm sorry, but at some point over the course of 12 years, you played a part in the gambling, in the bankrupting, in the spending your kids' money. You didn't stop it.
Mhm.
It's no different than physically abusing your child. If you don't stop it, if you're just a bystander and you allow somebody to do it and you don't remove your kids and yourself from the situation for 12 years or however many years it was, you
Yeah.
can't play a victim.
God.
Wherever you go, whatever they get into, from chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredelioQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.
All right. What do you make of Real Housewives of Orange County?
I mean, it's bad for business for me to say it, but I personally think they should go out with a bang, season 20, bring back some OGs.
Oh, God.
I know, but like whatever. I mean, I still watch it. And then I think they should pause, refresh. Let's go to San Diego. There's so much wealth in Orange
San Diego would
County.
be fun. La Jolla would be great.
I mean, I don't know California like you know California, but aren't there a lot of wealthy women around there?
Yeah, and super funny and interesting and cool and different races. Yeah, there are plenty.
What do you think about it? And what do you think about the Katie Janela and them icing her out? And I mean, listen, on the one hand, I get that she lied and I don't think she knows how to play things at the housewives level.
Yeah, I think she probably really wanted to be on the show and studied it and thought like, well, I can make a name for myself if I like throw some big bombs. Where she went wrong is the story that she shared would make anybody who works as a general counsel of a network like wince, because now we're bordering on legality issues. So I think like she overplayed her hand a bit. I can imagine people at a network would be nervous about bringing her back because it's like, what else is going to be brought up on camera or off camera? And then it will have to be brought on camera that paints the production, the network, a specific cast member in a bad light. I think they want to kind of minimize the amount of legal headaches that may come down the road.
Well, and that's why Gretchen and Slade were so upset that she said that Gretchen said it, because regardless of whatever Tamara did, Gretchen at this point can't prove it, but Tamara can turn around and sue her for slander.
Well, I don't think they can sue one
Well, they're
another.
on the same cast, so they can't. But I mean, the show could not want Gretchen back if Gretchen is the person who, in fact, brought that to light, which is why Gretchen let Katie take the fall.
Well, I don't think she intended it to get to the point where it would come back and be brought out on camera. I think what they all do is once they find out someone else is coming to the show, whether they're new or they're bringing some old cast member back, they go out to dinner and then they talk as much shit about each other as possible. They're like, let's just like arm ourselves with as much information that we may need to use, later in the game. And that's certainly what they would do in the beginning days of OC. So I think Gretchen is still operating on a 2003 system. Oh, she's still shopping at Radio
antiquated,
Shack.
Honey. She is antiquated. I really didn't like Alexis being back. I think I like Gretchen less. And it's the Slade of it. Can you explain why she's with him? I mean, I know they have a child together now.
I don't think Gretchen and Slade are any dissimilar to Croy and to Kim. You're talking about incredible codependency at its finest.
That's what it is.
They cannot see a life or even a day without being completely intertwined.
Well, he doesn't work.
I think he does manage all of her business stuff. And that's another problem. Croy was doing the same thing. He was running the Kim, like the quote unquote, the skincare line and all of those ancillary businesses that she was setting up.
And that's what made Larsa. I mean, I don't have many great things to say about Larsa, but I will say that I think she was spot on with Lisa just having Jody take over her life in that way.
Exactly.
Like hire a business manager and pay them. Your significant other. I am married. I got married when I was 26. I'm 43. I'm married a very long time. My husband doesn't manage any part of.
No.
Like I just.
No.
You keep it separated.
Also, when you have your husband or partner as your manager, there's no checks and balances. Like no one's keeping it real with you. So the madness, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
And I guess that's what we're seeing. I feel like they wanted Gretchen's rich group. Like, and I don't even know.
100%. There's no doubt about it. I've said the same thing to her.
And there's some crossover with Jesse Lolly's girlfriend, Lacey, right? They want like that crew.
Not too much. I mean, there's like, they know each other, but they don't hang out in the same circles. So, I mean, there are people who work in casting who study all these social groups. And they absolutely brought Gretchen back, hoping that they could get access to it. Because that group is the kind of group that goes out to lunch and they have matching bags and they wear, like, they have a call that goes out to each other, like, what's the color we're going to wear to the lunch? They're having 3 and 4 hour lunches. Like, that's the kind of cast member they want because they have an infinite amount of time. They love to be on camera. They probably have a wackadoo husband. They all hang out together. So yeah, in their minds, they're probably like, bring Gretchen back, and then we can start to add that friend group, and then we can get rid of like the added weight.
Gina and Emily
on the boat.
What are Gina and Emily doing there?
I think they keep them because they're friends, and it's like essential that they have people that have relationships. So yeah, they would want to get Gretchen's friends who all spend a lot of time together, and they all live in the same area, and they also have bonkers clothes and all of that.
So did you watch Wife Swap?
Okay, I liked Wife Swap. At least I liked this episode. And I have to say, it made me like Angie because it felt like she's like really kind of bugging the shit out of me.
So I always like Angie. I feel like I see where she's coming from on Salt Lake City. Not that she plays it necessarily right, but I get her frustrations. And Greeks are like Italians. They're very fiery, passionate people. So I get where she's coming from, right? Mm-hmm. I loved her on Wife Swap for a lot of reasons, because even seeing her with the family, you really like, I really think that's who she is. I think she is a very loving, like open-minded person. Mm-hmm. With that said, I was a little surprised that she let her daughter roast her so much, because I feel like she would want a more curated.
Yeah.
Like that kind of reminded me of like
production company. Different rules. And now on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, she doesn't really have to participate much. But now Wife Swap, it's a different thing. We're like, well, this has to be because we're going to show the other family. You guys have to participate. And so
I really like Sean. I like her husband.
I like him too.
I like them. I really like them.
I like the daughter too. She's cute.
She's cute. You could tell she's smart. Like both her parents must be smart. They're successful. Although, you know what? I can't say anything because next they'll be arrested. I'm very naive when it comes to people paying their taxes and everything like that. The living off the grid. First of all, I loved that family.
I did too.
I loved them. I just could never live like that.
No, but if you were battling that health issue, I think the wife and the husband had this real come to Jesus moment where they thought, we have to do whatever it takes. And if this is what it is what it is.
Okay.
And I think people, when they're stuck in that health situation, that sometimes they lose their marbles.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Because realistically, I can totally appreciate changing your diet. Mm-hmm. But can't you just eat plant-based, organic? Can't you just do you have to not have a toilet that flushes? Does your child need to bathe in mud outside with leeches?
That I couldn't get past. The leeches.
The leeches.
And by the way, did they have some sort of situation where Angie could take a bath in privacy? Or I would hope to God that they took her to like a motel.
I'm guessing.
They probably let her sleep at a motel too.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the whole episode, but Melissa was, I think, on Jeff Lewis. And she said that she demanded security measures. She's like, I'm not staying in a house. Like she said that there had to be a security guard outside the door. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
That's a little bit crazy, but I mean, I understand. Like you're living in a stranger's house and you don't know if someone's going to come in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I would hope that they would do extensive background checks. It'll be interesting to find out how they found that family in Idaho because they're not online. So
And then she had a phone in the episode when she was reading it, but I guess production but here's the thing. How did they find out about filming? How did they even find out about, well, they probably did the show for money.
Yeah.
And that money could probably last them a long time, whatever they made.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do you think they made? 20, 30,000? I don't know.
Maybe.
But how did they know they were filming?
I don't know. Someone must have been like, listen, I've got this really weird cousin and they live in the sticks and you've got to go out there, and they're like dying for some money. They need to like redo their stairs. The stairs.
So they don't work. So the husband doesn't work. They just live off the land. And like their work is their land.
I think so.
What about when they were sitting in the grass? They're like, oh, you got to watch for snakes. And Angie's like, there are snakes. Like I felt that in my soul. Like I am not an outdoorsy person. As outdoorsy as I get is sitting on a patio with a glass of rosé. You understand? I am not. I am concrete jungle baby. I am New York City.
Yeah.
Sitting in the grass, if a snake came,
I know.
I could deal with a lot. Outdoorsiness is not something I can do.
Well, then conversely, you think of the wife from Idaho showing up to the Jetsons' house where you don't even know where the buttons are.
It wouldn't be my choice of a house. But also, I was exhausted at Angie's life too. And I'm sorry.
I was actually confused by it.
Pissed if my kids and my husband were sitting on the couch and what am I, Cinda frickin' Rella? I don't think so. Get off your ass and help me clean. And come on, you have plenty of money. You don't have that's the first thing. The first thing I'm getting if I'm wealthy is live-in help.
That's what I didn't get.
What about when Mary showed up? They probably put it in their landfill to I don't know, pasteurize the land or something.
I will say on the show, Mary seems affectionate with her daughter, Angie's daughter. And then I saw a post that Angie put up that she invited that family back to watch the episode.
Yes.
And had Mary and Heather over, and Mary seems very affectionate with Angie's daughter.
Yes. And I also loved Angie being so affectionate with the little girl.
Yeah, I did too.
And I think that's what, I always liked Angie, but I think that that's probably what you saw, because I do think that Angie is a very loving person.
I think so too.
What do you think of the Barlow of it all on Salt Lake City? We all know she's always been a little delulu, but this unraveling, what's happening?
I think that she has an overwhelming sense of doom with all the lawsuits, and maybe some of the companies that she's invested in are not doing well. Again, God bless. I love tequila. I've never seen Vita tequila anywhere. I'm a little bit worried for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, he's I call him the patron saint of Salt Lake City. He's such a nice person. So, do you think that she has some side guy that it doesn't make sense to me that he would just give her a credit card and you can charge what you want?
I don't think it was a romantic thing. I think that people invest with her and she was supposed to either hold those funds, or if she started drawing from it, let her husband know. I think it was a business thing. I don't think she's got a side boyfriend. She seems very devoted to him.
I feel like this
Lisa
maybe
thinks about anybody outside of Lisa, really. I don't think she has interest in a boyfriend.
No. Mm-mm. But I think she does like attention, but it's the attention from people calling her an icon and a legend.
And rich. She wants everyone to know she's rich.
The minute someone brags about their wealth, I know they don't have any money.
I love jewelry. I always have. I mean, from when I was a little girl, fake jewelry, real jewelry, costume jewelry. But I don't think you're rich, especially nowadays with lab diamonds, right? I have, I love, but I don't think you're rich because you're wearing 10 carats of lab diamonds or real diamonds. It could be Swarovski, but clearly she thinks that people will perceive her as wealthy because of what she has on her body. And I think that's sad.
I know. Where does
it's a lot of these women. Look at Wendy. As I'm watching Potomac, I'm realizing what's with these outfits? Nobody is looking to Wendy to be a fashion plate.
Right.
You're a professor. We look to you to be snobby and think you're smarter than everybody. But I'm not looking at her going ooh, what's Wendy wearing?
I know. I wonder during the process of casting, someone kind of whispers in your ear, like, you better like up the game. You can't be wearing Vuori joggers. Like you gotta wear pastels and over the top.
And I remember on Beverly Hills, remember when Teddy was very much like, well, these people are always dressed up. Like I get you might want to dress up a little bit. But what about when they were on Potomac and they were in the shop and they're all look cute and she shows up in pastel, lavender, hot shorts and a blazer. It was like, what? It's not the Met Gala. Like,
even OC. Remember they're walking through Amsterdam and Tamara has on shorts and Jen has like her butt cut out with lace. And then Emily had the cut
I guess
dress.
they were trying to look like Red Light District. Is that what it was?
I think they look like the family. I gotta find the picture. They look like the family from National Lampoon's European Vacation who walk out of the boutique and they think like they are killing the look and they like miss it. Because people in Amsterdam are probably like, who are these dumb Americans?
And outside of that obviously weird scene, I feel like, particularly Tamara dresses very normal. Like, I don't think, and Tamara's obviously doing very well now, right? She makes good money on the OC. She makes good money on her pod, Empire. But she dresses very normally. Like, she'll have a dress that's nice, but like she mostly wears like jeans and a nice shirt. Like she's not
approachable clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What do you think about Sheena deciding not to come back to Vanderpump?
I do think she gets into her head about the comments section. And I think she did see an onslaught of people saying, like, get a life, move on. And
you believe she was offered full time and she turned it down, or you believe she was offered
maybe like part time or something? Like, come pop in every once in a while, maybe.
Which is easier to walk away from, let's be real.
But I think she was just got into her head, like, well, what's going to make me look the best in this situation? Because I think she's probably one of those cast members who is still hoping that they'll get a spinoff of their own. And in the meantime, she might go out and get acting jobs. What is always interesting to me about anybody on reality TV is then they really begin to like drink the Kool-Aid and they think that they are a personality. When most of these producers say, you only work for this ensemble situation. Outside of that, you don't make sense on TV.
I think it was Carlos King who said there's very few housewives who have a life after housewives.
Very few.
Now, I'm not saying that you can't earn an income, right? Because there are certain platforms that you can...
Could be an influencer for sure.
Yes. Bethany Frankel's a fantastic example. Of course, her wealth went on after Housewives and all of that, but everybody thinks of her as a housewife.
That's
like,
right.
you didn't make it as your talk show.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't make any of these Shark Tank type show. Like nothing really came of it.
Yeah. You know who one reality star who really did well was Jacinda Barrett from The Real World London. She was on that season of it, and then she disappeared for a while, and then she became this really well-known actress. But she was only on a reality show for a hot minute, and then went off the grid.
And
for
I was
a
Real World. Like that was my first. I watched New York when I was like 8 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved reality. The first reality show, like I was hooked. Jacinta sounds familiar, but I don't
She's
realize.
Beautiful.
What about Cardi B? I mean, she took that Love and Hip Hop fame, but that's different, right? Because she's a musician and hit it big.
Yeah, but she's a character.
She always was. Cardi, I love reality television. I don't really watch Love and Hip Hop anymore, but when it first came out, I loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved Cardi. And so I just find it funny because she's like humongous hip hop star. And most people don't even realize it's from Love and Hip, because Love and Hip Hop isn't really like it was kind of like a niche. Like you didn't watch it.
It was niche. Yeah. But I mean, they were some of the most hilarious cast members, like so quick on their feet. The reads, so good.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell everybody where they can catch up on everything. And I feel like there are people that are like already thinking about stuff that they need to DM you. Like they know somebody who knows someone.
Well, DM me at Bravo and Cocktails. That's my Instagram. I have a website, bravoandcocktails.com. I post stuff, all sorts of stuff, but mostly Bravo reality television. I have a subscription site, So if you want to be a cocktailer, you can use our code FALL2025. First month is $4. After that, it's $7.50 a month, $80 annually. We do an extra pod like a Patreon, but we host it on our site, a monthly Zoom. We have a Discord channel. We have all sorts of stuff. It's a community. It's a lot of fun.
What's going on over at Discord? Are people just like getting fired up on Discord?
People get fired up. People get fired up on Discord, and people tell us the craziest. Like,
what?
People DM me crazy stuff.
Wait, I
like
went in on this Discord. I went in on Discord.
It's fun. Our Discord is fun. Our monthly Zooms are fun because I don't record them.
Yeah.
Because we have people come and like tell us like crazy stuff.
Amazing.
Like, people come and they're like, I was in Charleston this weekend and I had a one-night stand with Austin.
Amazing.
Like this kind of stuff. I get crazy stuff. Like somebody messaged me today where Atlanta's going on their trip, Edinburgh, because one of their friends, they live in Edinburgh, and one of their friends is working at the restaurant. And they're like, oh, the Real Housewives of Atlanta are coming. I guess that's their cash trip.
I don't think they're going to love Scotland.
Why not?
I feel like that's too boring for them.
To Scotland, but I've been to Ireland quite a few times. My dad's Irish, and I love Ireland. Why wouldn't they like Scotland?
I think that for Atlanta, that's like I feel like Atlanta's best in a tropical location when they're in like bikinis and stuff.
I'm hearing Atlanta is currently filming in Edinburgh on their cash trip. My colleague has been asked to film in the background this evening.
Oh.
So we just get... If you like reality TV, I get crazy stuff. And it's funny. I don't follow like Bachelor, but people will send me stuff. Yeah. And I'll like just post it and be like, I don't know who this person is, but
yeah,
how about it? I mean, are we excited for Rhode Island? Are you excited for Rhode Island?
Yeah, because I thought my friend was on it, but I think it's mostly like family members, like one family that's kind of all filming. My one friend sells real estate there. She moved from OC. She should have been in Real Housewives of Orange County and then moved there. And think she's maybe going to be in the background.
I will tell you, I got an email about Rhode Island, I don't even know, maybe 2 years ago. And everybody was like, there's no way. Who wants Rhode Island? I always believed it because it was the beginning of the Jersey hiatus. And I know that Rhode Island is like that same energy. And I don't only want to say Italian because yes, it is a lot of Italians. My mother's father.
There's a lot of Portuguese there too.
Portuguese. My mother's father, who was Italian-American, was from Providence. And it's funny you say Portuguese because...
Well, my husband's Portuguese.
My great aunt, like their neighbors, it was first Italian, then Portuguese. And it's like that very family-orientated, everybody's in your business, this sort of thing. It's good, sister-in-laws and that whole Jersey vibe.
Yeah.
It's totally going to be recreated. And these people are nuts. I mean, one of them already has a domestic violence restraining order against her husband. Did you hear that?
No. But I'm into it.
So he put he's a podiatrist. I want to say podiatrist, some like dorky, like foot doctor or eye doctor, one of them. He put a tracking device on her car. Do you know that a tracking device is DV? You probably know. You're very smart. And so she's got it. The show hasn't even come out yet. And either him or another guy altogether beat up an elderly man at Planet Fitness.
Because of course.
I shouldn't laugh. What?
Of course, Planet Fitness. Like, where else would you get in a fight?
Where else would you? But like, so it's this. So I was never surprised. Now I'm hearing Idaho.
I actually recommended somebody.
Well, Angie has a salon in Idaho.
Oh.
And so when they sent her to Idaho, I think she may pull, I don't know this. So what I do is I put puzzles together. People tell me stuff.
That makes sense because that's why maybe her ego is going a little crazy because she's like, oh.
I'm thinking they may use her in a dolo capacity.
Well, she just posted something today about franchises.
Yeah.
And
so
they're the plot
maybe they
thickens.
dolo her and put her on there to kind of bring the cast out or whatever. But I am hearing Idaho. I'm hearing Southern Wives. So like they're doing all different.
Well, I think we said it all. Thank you so much.
And you'll be on my pod tomorrow.
I know. Oh my God. More to talk about.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, B. By the way, go over and check out her podcast as well to listen to my interview. As always, make sure you are subscribed to this podcast. Please leave a 5-star review. Join the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to my What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com, bonus podcasts, Apple Podcast, and Patreon. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KatecaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at @Katecasey. Check back tomorrow for that must-listen to Saturday series episode.